Hey everyone, let's learn about boxplots and all their components. This is in section 3.3 of the book, Measures of Position, where we learned about z-scores, the number of standard deviations from the mean. But suppose that we don't want to look at the data through the lens of the mean. Suppose we want to look at it through the lens of the median, which is a little less complicated if you think about it, right? It's just the halfway point of the data. So what we're going to do, if we're thinking about it, the median divides the data into half, we're going to just go a little further and divide the data into fourths, or quartiles, right? And you have quartiles, Q1, Q2, and Q3. I'll define those in a sec. The range of a data set is, you have to pencil in the difference between its maximum and minimum values, right? So just max minus min, that's the range. The interquartile range, otherwise known as the IQR, of a data set is the difference between the first, or I should say the third and the first quartiles. So Q3, which is the 75th percentile, and Q1, which is the 25th percentile. So just right over here, I'll say the IQR equals let me put it down here maybe, equals Q3 minus Q1. Okay? And we'll talk about how to find Q3 and Q1 in a sec. The median is labeled Q2, which is, just to be crystal clear, the 50th percentile. Right? So if you imagine dividing the data up like this, suppose this is the min, this is the max, okay? The median, I'll call it Q2, which is also the median, is right there. Q1 is right there, and Q3 is right there. So you see how these all divide the data into fourths, right? This is the 0th percentile, 25th, 50th, 75th, and for technical reasons, we don't call something the 100th percentile. Nothing can ever be greater than all 100% of the data. We just call it the 99th percentile. Right, so anyway, this is how you find the first and third quartiles. And this is just, I'm just pulling this right from the book. Right, maybe I'll even keep the definition in there too, since I didn't formally define Q1 and Q3. Right, so we've got that right there. So if you notice, it's the exact same procedure that we use to find the 25th and the 75th percentiles. If you look a little further in the notes, because we did cover percentiles. Okay. So anyway, the common measure that we have once we learn about quartiles is the 5-number summary, which is just all of the quartiles plus the min and the max. So the 5-number summary of a data set is the set min, Q1, Q2, which of course is the median, Q3, and the max. Okay? So if I ever ask for the 5-number summary, then that's what I'm asking for. Okay? So they say use Minitab to find the 5-number summary for, let's see, the batting averages of qualified MLB hitters in 2023. Oof, let's see if we can do that. So if I'm going to use Chrome for this. I get my baseball data from Fangraphs. Gonna go to leaders, batting 2023. And we want to change the page size to 200. They throw ads in your face if you don't register or if you don't pay for the membership. And they also don't let you export the data, but we should be able to copy the data. Let's see if they let us do it. You have to be very precise about all this. Perfect. We're going to copy that, and we're going to paste this into Minitab. I think we're probably going to have to do that. And we should be able just to paste our data in here. Well, let's see. Whoop. One sec. Minitab can be a little fussy about this, or Chrome can be. There we go. And we don't need to save this. Okay, so we have all this data, plethora of data. C14 right here is the batting average, so I'm just going to call that AVG. And just to let you know how I know that, if you scroll up, if you look at the first guy, Ronald Acuna Jr., his average is 337. Oop, not letting me, there you go. His average right there is 337, so that's how we know we're talking that we're talking about average right there, okay? All right, so anyway, I said find the 5-number summary, right? Find the 5. Now I say use Minitab to do it. Now Minitab uses some slightly different methods than we do, okay? But the way that they do it is you just do display descriptive statistics, make sure that you're selecting the correct column, and then just go to statistics, and you can go ahead and unclick anything we're not using, right? All right, so we want the min, the max, first, second, and third quartiles. And there we go, right? Now, just to point out, this is a little bit different. If you use the book's technique, then you get something that's a little bit different. Okay, so Minitab calculates things a little bit differently. But min, max, and median are always the same. Q1 and Q3 might be a little bit different depending on whether you use Minitab or whether you use the book's method. But anyway, I said to use Minitab. We use Minitab. This is what we got. Okay? So there you go. Now, let's see if we can create a box plot. All right, so I say click graph, box plot, see if you can create a box plot or a box and whisker plot of the data. What do the boxes and whiskers represent? Well, let's take a look. Maybe we can answer. Go back into Minitab, graph, box plot, simple. Again, we're going to choose C14 average. I don't think we really need any. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't need any of that stuff. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Yep, and look, there we go. That is our box plot of average. So let's try to get that all on the screenshot. And we're just going to crop that a little bit. Maybe crop that. Something like that. Okay. Now, sometimes you might see box plots drawn horizontally. Also totally fine. This one's drawn vertically. So the question is, what do the boxes and whiskers represent? I hope it's clear what the box is or boxes. But this is the first quartile. This whisker is the third quartile, right? Meaning, right, the first quartile is the first 25% of the data, right? There were the data in the 25th percentile, right? The box right here, the second quartile, is the data between the 26th and 50th percentiles, right? The third quartile is the 51st to 75th percentile. And oh wait, no, sorry. Sorry, I messed this up. Sorry. This right here is the second quartile. This other box is the third quartile. Sorry about that, guys. And then this right here is actually the fourth quartile. right? Now, just to be clear, when I talk about the first quartile, I do include that little asterisk right there, which you might guess correctly is an outlier. And these are also part of the fourth quartile as well. But they're just marked specially because they're outliers. Okay? So the range in the IQR of the data, well, that's just your highest minus your lowest, right? So I will leave that to you. Right, but I'll just say find, first of all, find your max minus your min, and find Q3 minus Q1. Well, you know what? Actually, we can just do this right now. Max minus the min. I won't simplify it. How about that? Maybe we can simplify. That's not so bad. That's 157, but verify it, right? I believe that's 157. And Q3 minus Q1, they get 275, and 247.75. Let's see, 275. Minus 247.75. 40. We're just going to round it to 248. And that's 0.27, I believe, or 0.027, I believe. Okay. So we get that. All right. Now, before we formally define a box plot, even though we know how to graph them in Minitab, we should formally define how you make them. We first want to define an outlier, right, so that we understand how to make those little asterisks, right? An outlier is something that's far to the left or the right of a data set, and you may have already known that. But more specifically, an outlier is a data point less than Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR, or greater than Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. Right? And I've seen this measure across statistics books, so this is a pretty standard measure. A box plot is a graph that illustrates the 5-number summary as well as the outliers. So to create a box plot, do the following. First, and this could be the most tedious if you don't have a computer, you have to order the data, right, from smallest to largest. Then you need to find the min and the max. Right, that should be just immediate, right, once you've ordered the data. Then, might take a little bit of time, find the median, which remember is Q2. Then we find Q1 and Q3. Next up, we want to find, I guess I should say we find, well, yeah, I guess we could find this first. Finds the IQR, which remember is Q3 minus Q1. Okay? And then I would say, for 6, find Q1 minus, I should say, sorry, whoops, minus 1.5 times the IQR, as well as Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. Okay, now that we have that, we can actually draw it. So what you do is label outliers like that. So we do that. Then I would start with the box, to be honest. So I would say draw lines I should say through Q1, Q2, and Q3, and make a box around them, right? So for example, if we have this, we might label these guys as, you know, outliers or whatever. There might be an outlier up there. But then wherever Q1 is, wherever Q2 is, and wherever maybe Q3 is up here, for example, we would just do a line, and a line. It doesn't need to be symmetric. It doesn't need to be symmetric, right? And then we just make, a box. Well, let's try to make that a little straighter, right? Okay, we get that. Okay, and then draw whiskers from Q1 to, well, whatever this value is right here. And Q3 to Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. Right? So we go like that and maybe that, something like that, okay? That is how you do a box plot. But practically speaking, the way you do it is enter your data into Minitab and let Minitab do it.